Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my channel again. I know I am actually just one day late on making this video, but I'm hoping you'll forgive me. I've been packing up my stuff in my room, and as you can tell, I mean, obviously we're in this little corner now. The rest of my room is dirty, but you can even see right here my bookshelf is empty because I'm taking this with me. So yeah, I actually am recording this right now because I have to take all the stuff down from my walls because my parents actually want to do some stuff with this room after I move out. So got to take all the stuff down. So I figured I'll use the comic book backdrop one last time. Sort of give it a little kiss goodbye. Unfortunately, these are all individually taped up. I made this myself with the comic issues that I had that maybe I didn't read or I had that were in volume now. Like in volume, so I didn't really need the issues anymore. Which I love to have issues still, but you know, it was one of those things where the idea struck and I stayed up till like 2 a.m. putting them up in the right order that I wanted them. So yeah. Anyway, it's sad to see it go, but kind of happy too. You know, feels good. But yeah, so without further ado, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about some of the stuff I got this week. It's actually really badly storming here, so I apologize for what you guys might hear. Sorry, I'm actually getting these books back out of my bag that I packed them in. So I got a couple things to talk about. Only two new arrivals. One of them is for me. The other is for my girlfriend for her birthday. So I'll talk about the one for me for this week. Wolverine by Frank Miller and Chris Claremont. Claremont's actually writer, and Miller, I'm sure, helped write, but he's the artist too. Some super cool stuff in here. You know, Silver Samurai. Haven't gotten around to reading it yet, but I'm really excited to read it. The art seems super cool. You know, very Miller. So, super excited to read that. But I was glad to get this. It was a little damaged. You know, I ordered it off of Amazon and they can be a little rough. But other than that, it's pretty cool. Shorter than I expected. But I got it for like $10, so I will take it. So yeah. Oh yeah, it says written by Chris Claremont and illustrated by Frank Miller. So I guess Frank Miller was really just the illustrator. For at least the Wolverine ones. I doubt he did the Uncanny X-Men that are included in that as well. The other one that I got was The Book of Bill. So this is from Gravity Falls, which is a show that my girlfriend showed to me when we first started dating. So we have a lot of good memories of this, and here, I'll show you guys. It's pretty cool. I don't know if any of you guys are into Gravity Falls. If you aren't, it's worth checking out even as an adult. I love it. My girlfriend is obsessed with it, rightfully so. I would say, like, I don't know if I've ever talked about this, but I really love Avatar, the animated series. The Last Airbender, that is. And it's like, for her, Gravity Falls is what Avatar, the Last Airbender is for me. I really obsessed over that as a kid, and she really obsessed over this. So it's really cool to see that and to share our interests. I love doing that. So yeah, and I'll talk about now the book I finished this week, which took me so long, so long. I think I finished it on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday when I was at work, which Friday was my last day of work before I head back to school. So that's pretty exciting. Also, I'm sorry my hair is so messy. Is my hat near me? No, it's not. So we're gonna have to deal with it. I apologize for this. It is crazy. It's curly though, so maybe that'll give you some plus points. Brisingr was really fun. I would say, okay, and if you are on my Goodreads, you saw this already, and I want to expand upon it a little bit. But this was sort of like a pit stop for the series, which I enjoyed, but I enjoyed it a lot more as a standalone book. As a part of a larger series, I would say this book might hold it back a little bit for me. We'll see how Inheritance is. I loved this as it is, but as of follow-up to Eldest and a 3 out of 4 of the books. Like, this is supposed to be the one right before the last book. I'm kind of like, oh, we slowed down a lot in this book. Like, which I really liked. But, or here, I'll set this right here so you guys can see it. But yeah, so I liked it. I liked it a lot. But I definitely think that during some of the parts, I was like remembering that there's sort of this serious, like, huge war going on. And during those moments, I was like, oh, right. And we're taking all this time to talk about this stuff, which was interesting. It kind of just felt like there's a time and a place. And maybe Paolini should have waited to sort of start the big war until this book, or maybe until the end of this book. So that way we could have explored more of these themes in Eldest, some of the politics and stuff. So I think that might have been the better choice. That way the stakes kind of stayed high instead of going real high, kind of mellowing out, and then going real high again. You know, I'm always getting like plot whiplash, if that makes sense. But again, I really enjoyed it. I'm excited to read Inheritance, and it definitely made me enjoy Paolini as a writer a lot more, seeing him explore these different ideas. Okay, next is a book that I started on Friday, and I actually finished, today's Sunday. So I finished this, when did I finish? It was last night. Must have been last night. Yeah, it couldn't have been tonight. Sorry. I'm like totally confused. I've been packing for like 2 days straight, so I have no idea the time and stuff that's going right past me. Of Mice and Men. This was phenomenal. I can't believe I skipped out on this in like my 11th grade English class. Although that was during COVID, so I'm not surprised that I did. But wow, this was incredible. I mean, I feel like I don't need to speak for it. It's like 100 pages. It's John Steinbeck. If you haven't read it, get around to it. It's worth it. It was just awesome. Well, not awesome, but it was very poignant and very, I'm sure for any of you who have read this book, you have to take it as when it was written, which was really hard for me sometimes because I was like, I don't really want to do that. Like, I don't really want to put myself in the shoes. Like, I feel like some of you guys know what I'm talking about. But, you know, thinking back on it and thinking about the time that it was written, I was like, I can see why this is so, like, sort of highly regarded. And, you know, I don't need to explain this book or the author or the time that it was written, but it was a little jarring for me as a reader. That's just my experience. And once I sort of got over it, I could see between the sort of shock of it and be able to get the most out of it. But again, this was very poignant, very beautiful, and really made me sort of consider my own place in how I value myself and how I value myself just as an individual without having like usefulness. So yeah, I definitely recommend to check that out if you haven't already. So yeah, I guess that's 2 books done. And then we have, let's think, I read, what did I read this month? Oh, X-Men. That's right. I'm still not done X-Men. I'm getting there. I'm so close. I think I just have been like taking a break from this because I usually read this at home. I can't really take this to work. And I worked a lot this week because I added up some more hours so that I could save up right before I go to school, try and get the most out of it I could, which I guess I should have been doing all summer, but neither here nor there. I've also just been playing more games lately. You know I'm not going to have more time for that, so I've been doing that. I know I talked about this last time too. But yeah, so I should be able to finish this before even I go back to school on Tuesday. I just haven't gotten around to it. Yeah. What was the other book I finished? Is it in here? Is there another book I read in August? I used to have them right up there on my bookshelf, but now the only books on my bookshelf are books I've already read or not planning to read in the next year, so I'm not taking them. Shoot. It was Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, John Steinbeck, Grapes of Wrath, or not Grapes of Wrath, Of Mice and Men, Brisingr, and then I wanted to read Circe and Mort. Then there was one more book. What was that last book? Oh, This Is How You Lose the Time War, and I already read that. That makes me feel better, because now we're 3 books through, and it is the 17th. No, it's the 18th, because it's Sunday. So I'm a little bit behind schedule, but luckily Brisingr was about 750 pages, and the rest of the books that I'm going to read are under 400. So really I am about halfway in page count and in that, but I've also been reading comics, so it's a little jumbled. Either way, I'm probably about halfway, but the issue is I'm on the 18th, and I should have gotten here by the 15th, obviously, numbers-wise. So I need to step it up a little bit. But that's okay. We're going to catch up with it. So yeah, other than that, I just wanted to say, I did read this, finally. Daredevil, The Man Without Fear. Incredible. Wow. I'm buying Born Again immediately. Have to read that before the new show comes out. I know it's probably not going to be totally based on that, but I still want to read it. And I also want to start getting the Chip Zdarsky ones, because I'm thinking that a lot of the stuff in the new show is going to be based on that. And maybe even the Bendis run. So I'm going to start checking out some more Daredevil comics. That was great, though. So I guess we have a finished pile up here. There we go. Yeah. I'm trying to think. The last thing I kind of have to talk about is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. This is my next read. Haven't started it yet. I think I'm going to try and finish X-Men first and then start this, just so that I don't have too much on my plate. And that way it'll make it easier on me. So, yeah. That's pretty much it. I don't have much else to talk about. It hasn't been a real crazy week for me reading-wise. I've been working more, and yeah. I kind of have a busier week at work too, so really all I read at work was the rest of Brisingr, and then like the first 20 pages of Mice and Men, and then I just finished Of Mice and Men really quickly. I mean, it only took me like 1 session and a half, really, to finish reading that, because it's super short. But yeah, I really think that's about it. The next time you guys see me, I will be in my new apartment with a new setup, whole new thing. I know I've changed the camera angle, a couple of times now, and it's gonna get even crazier when I change again and end up in an entirely new setting. So we're gonna see how that works out. I don't even know if I can take this ring light that I'm using right now, so fingers crossed. But yeah, it shouldn't change too much. Content will stay the same. Just bear with me while I get everything set up and get settled in. And, just know that I might not have a sort of cool camera angle with posters in the background and my bookshelves like I've had. It might end up being a little bit more like just me sitting in the corner of a room like this. So, at least for the first video or two. But my hope is that will change quickly enough. So, anyway, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys checking out the bookshelf tour. Unfortunately, that is null and void because I will have to do another bookshelf tour soon anyway. So, but I appreciate you guys watching it, and I appreciate all the love on that video too. It was super fun to make, and I know it was super scuffed with how I made it, but I'm glad you guys still enjoyed it. So yeah, keep reading, keep having fun with it, just stay safe out there, and just keep reading. Read. I know that this is the start of some busy seasons for a lot of students out there, college, high school, middle school, whatever, and teachers too. If you're a teacher and you read, and different things like that. And also it just gets busier around the fall for some reason, even with other jobs, I'm sure. So I hope you guys can still make time for this wonderful hobby of ours, And I will catch you guys next week on the next reading update. Probably not going to do a special sort of video early this week because obvious reasons. But love you guys so much. Thank you for so much support. And let me know in the comments how you guys are feeling about your TBRs as we're about halfway through. Are you failing at it like me? Or more so just falling behind, not necessarily failing? Or are you slamming it like there's no tomorrow? That was terrible phrasing. I love you guys. See you next week.